I went down to New York town, a fair maid. It's Tuesday morning and I've been watching for the weather, and the weather looks not bad, especially as I'm going to be, for once in my life, going downwind. So I've weighed the anchor and avoid to make a joke about that, and now just headed out towards the mouth of the bay, and it's looking a bit calmer than it was on the way in. All those landmarks are still there. Nasty rocks on the left, nasty rocks on the right. Green starboard buoy in the middle, which I must now leave to port because I'm going out. So hoping to head straight back to Cardiff in one go. The weather looks as if there's a fairly strong, up to 20 knot following breeze, and that, with fingers crossed, I'm hoping that it's going to be straightforward. Now, isn't that a clever thing to say? We'll see, won't we? And as we pass the green channel marker here, we've now got some sail out, just going out into the open sea now. So it's time to get the wind pilot ready, the Wind Vane. I've started out conservative with a reef in the main, or two reefs in the main actually, and not unrolling all the jenny because we don't quite know how it's going to be. It's easier to let things out than to take them in. So let's sort out the Wind Vane now. I have a choice of vanes to suit different strengths of wind. That's the medium wind one, and that's the light wind one. At the moment it feels like a light wind, but I think maybe once we get out of the wind shadow it's going to be a medium wind. So I've put this paddle onto the Wind Vane and see how that goes. Okay, faces into the wind. That's probably about it. Unlock it. And it's active as soon as I turn this fella off. Right. It's taking us, heading us up. Okay, we're sailing, Wind Vane steering. I'm going to turn off the engine. That brilliant moment of silence when the engine goes off. Here we are, going dead downwind. And we're making a good, what are we making? Over 5 knots. A few little other boats are out. There's one over there. And here we are, we're headed due east really, and we've got the usual goose-winged arrangement here, pulled out and prevented. Don't need all the sail out. This isn't a race. I want to be comfortable and have some breakfast in a minute. So yeah, very nice start to the day. Well, about an hour and a half into the journey, and it's going very nicely. Speed about 5.5 knots. But somehow I'm feeling a little queasy. Isn't it funny how very often on the first day, when your body's not quite used to the motion, although it's pretty calm. I mean, we've got a slight little bit of rolling here, but I've got no business to be feeling queasy really. I shall just sit quietly until it goes away. Still whooshing along downwind nicely, doing between 5 and 6 knots, so covering some miles. If the wind gets much stronger, probably need to roll in a bit of the Genoa, but at the moment it's just about right. Don't go too much over 6 knots. Well, we've been going really well for the last 6 hours, or considerably more, probably 8 hours now. Pretty much dead downwind, and now the wind is starting to move from west to southwest, and as it gradually moves, we're having to, you can see I'm moving the wind vane around to follow the wind. But what's happening is that the wind is now getting very close to backing the foresail, so to keep from overloading the rig, I'm going to haul in the Genoa, pull it out on the other side, and then we can go further away from a dead run. So let's start out by getting the Genoa in. That's it, that is in. Right. So there we are. Right, hoist it back up again. There we go. Okay, let's go back and pull that up now. All right, steady on, steady on. Okay. Right. Now we can let out the genoa on the port side. So this is the sort of thing you don't really want to be doing at night. So that's why I thought I'd get it done now while there's still plenty of light and we can see what we're doing. Okay. Let's pull this up a bit. That makes it easier to keep on our course of about 92 degrees without the sail backing and banging around. She's got plenty of room to move now. There we are. We've had a fair tide for the last 6 hours or so, but now it's going back against us, and unfortunately that doesn't matter too much because it's only half a knot of tide, but coming the other way it's going to be wind over tide, which makes the waves steeper and a bit less friendly, but we'll just have to put up with that, I guess. On we go. Well, the wind's gone up a bit more now, quite strong from behind, showing apparent wind of 18-20 knots, which means it's about 25-26 knots realistically. So we're going a bit fast basically. It's consistently over 6 knots, heading up towards 7 knots. It's too quick really, we're getting to be in some danger of broaching. So I'm going to roll away a bit of the genoa. At the moment it's we've got about as much of it out as we can have. So let's see whether we can, I don't know, get about maybe half of that in, shall we? Right. Slacken up a bit of tension. That's happening. There we go, that's a nice lock on. Okay, let's cleat that off. Tension up what remains. Okay. And yeah, that's about half of it gone. See what that does. That's taken us down to, well, it's taken us down a bit, 5.5 knots, 5.7, 5.8. Okay. Let's see what's happening there. She's tending to when we surf down the front of a wave like that, or this one, if it's not quite straight, then she's tending to broach around a bit. It's better than it was. Here comes a nice tall one. Let's see what this does. It seems to be alright. Okay. Alright, still got our course of about 90. Oops, water trying to come on board. Okay, we'll see how it goes like that. Can always take in the whole lot if necessary. Okay, let's have a look at how we're doing after the first 10 hours of travel. We come out of Baltimore here. This is us running east, not a bad course east, a little bit south of east for a bit there. And here we are. So how far have we come according to the thing? 53 miles at 5.2 knots. So there it is on the, just about get it all on one map, can't we? Baltimore all the way down to here. So zoom up a bit further, how are we doing in terms of the whole trip? Well, where are we? We're here from there. We've got to go all the way up there, so we're perhaps a quarter of the way. There's a few other ships around, nothing dangerously close or going to be close at the moment. So yeah, that's the situation at 8 p.m. Monday evening.
Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? Yes, away, Santi, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka?